Hey guys, we're back with Chaos Child. Last time, no, definitely is not Senri. I don't know what you're talking about. There's no way that could be true. Like, come on, that's ridiculous. Where are we? Where are we? Heads or tails? There we go. I should really just delete all the old saves by now, just so I can save over quickly. But remember, go to pridemim.com, guys, to get a hat or something. Right there, see. Not that I'm doubting her. I'm doing this because I believe in her, because I want to believe. That's what I told myself over and over as I went to the meeting spot. He already met with Kawahara. Who is this? Konosato? Shinjo? Hey, Shinjo. That's what it feels like. Which makes me scared that Shinjo's gonna be evil. Shinjo's words were sarcastic when he saw me. But it made sense. I've been coming to him for everything lately.
本来外部の人間にこんなものを見せるのは感心できるこっちゃないんだがな。
I'm sorry. To my night.
今更だ。それよりこいつが頼まれていた例のブツだ。
I really hope Shinjo is just like a nice guy. I do not want him to be evil. I want him to be in the big Avengers Endgame the Science Adventure series is gonna have. Anonymous code is in 2036, right? So it's gonna be in the far future. Shinjo took out a large envelope and put it on the table. May I look at it?
そのために持ってきたんだろ?
Yeah, that's good, the obvious. Thank you. I can tell my hands are shaking as I reach for the envelope. But if I wasn't suspicious, there was nothing to be afraid of. If I believed her, there's no reason to hesitate. Still wasn't sure whether it was okay for me to look.
どうした? 見ないのか?
No. I opened the envelope and took out the documents inside.
そいつが渋谷地震で亡くなったとされる南沢千里の検視資料だ。
So they found her body. Has that been mentioned before? I mean, probably. I don't remember. Shinjo whispered and looked around at him as he spoke. Nobody ever believed that. Come on.
あの時は事態が事態だったからな。南沢千里に限らず、いろいろと粉飾されてるデータも多くてな。一応渋谷地震の被害者のうち遺体の損傷が激しく身元がはっきりしないものに関しては残っている組織によって DNA 鑑定が行われた。当然南沢千里のものとされている遺体も火災による損壊が激しく組織の一部が DNA が
Oh, sorry, Shinjo. I thought he was done. Then that body is really...
それなんだがな。見てもらえばわかるが南沢千里という少女は両親も地震によって命を落としている。
So they couldn't compare it to anyone. So Takuya could go to the real Kurusus, or the real Kurusus. Well, no, I guess her parents died too, huh?
南沢千里の遺体に関しては、その DNA 鑑定の結果を紹介する以前に、当時親しかったとある人物の証言によって認定されたって話だ。
That chair is nice. A close friend?
クルス・ノノだ。
In other words, Nono was the one who told the police that it was Minamisawa Senri's body. That was the only reason that anyone believed she was dead in the first place.
クルス・ノノの証言のみにより、その遺体は南沢千里と認定され、遺族に引き渡されて葬られた。ここまではいいな。
I got it. Yes.
よし。で、その下の封筒だが、そいつが当時の DNA の鑑定記録だ。
A bowl of ramen.
鑑識課の知り合いに頭を下げてちょこっとその記録をつついてみた。おかげでラーメン一杯分だ。
How much is that in Japan? Like $3? Oh, I can.
おいおい、言ってみただけだ。子供に出させるほど俺も落ちぶれちゃいないよ。
Well, now I feel bad. How much does Shinjo get paid? Shinjo was laughing, but his salary probably wasn't that high. The payday coming up was probably a pretty big blow to him.
で、俺の方で鑑定結果を照合してみたんだがな。結論を言えば、遺体の DNA は南沢千里の両親、父親、母親のどちらとも DNA 型が一致しなかった。つまり、
the body didn't belong to Minamisawa Senri!
そういうことだ。
Slowly, everything Shinjo-san said began to sink in. The body that Kurusu Nono claimed was Minamisawa Senri wasn't. But then why had Nono said that? Had she mistaken someone else for Minamisawa Senri? How is that possible when they were supposed to be best friends? Had Serika been telling the truth? Yes.
さあ、それじゃあ、南沢千里のものと思われた遺体は一体誰だったのか。だが、
He motioned for me to flip to the next page.
当時、身元不明で DNA 鑑定に回された遺体は348名。
That's lower than I thought it would be. Well, I guess that's just unID'd ones, right?
そのデータを詳しく検証してみた結果、それらの中からおそらく南沢千里と母子関係だと思われる極めて近い DNA を持つ遺体が見つかった。
Wait, Shinjo's already figured everything out? He's a genius? Her mother? In other words, it was the mother of the dead girl. Who was that? Shinjo-san took a sip of water to wet his throat. His next words were clear and unmistakable.
クルスユカ子。渋谷地震で圧死したクルスノノの母親だ。
What a shocking truth! Everything went black. I thought about what he was telling me over and over again. Corpse that allegedly belonged to Minamisawa Senri was actually genetically related to Kurusu Nono's mother, which meant the body you thought was Minamisawa Senri was actually Kurusu Nono. I didn't even recognize my voice as I spoke. Me neither. I don't know what Taku's voice is like. I've only heard him say okay. Are you certain this is true?
データは寡黙に、だが雄弁に物語っている。
南沢千里は親友が死んだことを悲しむどころか、これ幸いとあっけなく切り捨て、南沢千里として慰霊碑の下に葬った。そして自らは美しく明るく聡明で誰からも好かれるクルスノノとして第二の人生を謳歌していたんだよ。
I mean, I'm sure the motive is that, like, you know, she'd rather have Kurusu live than, you know, Senri live. So, you know, she became her so that Kurusu could live on or something like that. Serika's voice echoed in my head. So she really was.
私を信じてくれるよね。
That's actually an anime trope. Like, it's not that common, but it shows up from time to time that I kind of hate. Well, in this case, it's cool because it's like a shocking plot twist, right? Like there's magic. Well, Gigalomaniac is just that's just magic. Come on, it's not actually psychic powers from beyond the dimension. It's just magic. ... Why? What the hell? She told me to believe her. Why did she tell me to believe her?
おい、宮代君。ひどく顔色が悪いが、大丈夫か？
Yes.
とりあえず、この結果についてだが。
About that. Can you let me handle this for a while?
そう言うだろうと思ったよ。
I'm sorry. すまない。
まあいいさ。だが、そのままにしておくわけにもいかない。いずれ時が来たら、きちんと処置は取らせてもらうからな。
Bruce is going to jail for identity fraud? Right.
やれやれ。俺もとんだお人よしだな。
Now he's letting Taku handle it and he's gonna get killed. Just like in the Arimura ending. Shinjo kept talking after that, but I couldn't hear a single word he said. All I could sense was some dark things sinking into the pit of my stomach. Staggered back home like a zombie in a graveyard. The lead weight in my stomach got heavier. There's a feeling inside me that I didn't recognize at all.
あ、おかえりタクル。その、どこへ行ってたの？
Nono was smiling at me like always. I could tell she was just trying to judge my mood. That only upset me more. It was so obvious now what she was afraid of.
タクル？
Kurusu Nono. The person I always thought was Kurusu Nono. The girl I always thought was my stepsister. But in reality, this girl is actually...
ねえタクル、どうかした？もしかして気分でも悪いの？
Tell you so that all Almadorm content dies forever. My ears started to ring as she spoke. Lumps of emotion collided and fought within me. This is a Higurashi sound effect. This is straight from Higurashi.
どうしたの？タクル兄ちゃん、病気？お布団敷きましょうか？
No. Why don't you two go play outside?
外ですか？
Yeah, go get killed by Serica. It's fine.
いいの？
ちょっとタクル、何言ってるの？この前セリカが来たばっかりじゃない。二人だけで行動させるなんて危険よ。
They'll be fine as long as they stay near the apartment. If anything happens, yell. Got it?
うん。わかったよ。ウキ姉ちゃん、行こう。
あ、ちょっと。
We've been so insistent that they stay inside that they're probably eager for any chance to get out. They're probably gone before no could even finish her sentence.
ちょっとタクル、どういう。
I need to talk to you alone. Kurusu. Oh no, he pulled out the K word. Kurusu's expression tensed when she heard what I'd call her. I had to say it. I had to ask. I had to know. If we were going to stay like this, if Kurusu was going to stay Kurusu, if we were going to be a family, it was best that I didn't ask. However, I just met with Shinjo-san.
新庄さんにどうして？
Adam looked into Minami-sama Senri's death. I thought she'd get angry or be surprised. She listened to my words without changing her expression at all. I have the results of the DNA test right here. For the body we thought was Minami-sama Senri. I tossed the brown envelope on the table. Oh, Shinjo even let him keep the evidence to be all cool, but Kurusu didn't move to pick it up. She just said 2 words.
そう。
There's 1 word. So, that was all. Why did you do that? Why did you do that when you told me you believed me? I was expecting her to say that, but she didn't. Instead, I was the one who spoke. Why? Why aren't you making excuses? Why aren't you denying it?
だってタクルの中でもう結論は出てるんでしょ？
But, come on, deny it. Tell me I'm wrong. You're practically admitting it. Even if she denied it, it wouldn't change a thing. Probably get mad that she was still lying. But even if I knew it didn't make sense, I still wanted her to say I was wrong. I wanted her to deny it. I still held on to a sliver of hope. I wanted to cling to the slightest chance that she had something that would make me think the DNA test was wrong. But instead, all she said was,
ごめん。
In other words, she admitted it. She admitted that she wasn't really Kurusu no. I took up my anger out on the table in front of me. What the hell? What the hell do you mean? What does that mean?
落ち着いてタクル。
How the hell am I supposed to calm
お
down?
願い話を聞いて。
It was all a lie, wasn't it? Right from the start. It was a lie when you said we were a family. It was a lie when you said you cared about me.
タクル。
No secrets between family members. How could you ever say that when you're I mean, he has a really, really good point. Lying about your own goddamn name.
違うのタクル。
I mean, yeah, that is very true. It's not? What's not true? Tell me!
私だって騙すつもりはなかったのよ。嘘をつくつもりなんてなかった。でもあなたと出会った時には私はもうクルス・ノノだったから、もう二度と南沢千里には戻りたくなかった。あなたたちに嫌われたくなかったから。だから。
You're still the one who said no sequence between family members. Kurusu was forcing the words out.
でも騙そうとしたんじゃない。本当はずっと苦しかった。私は本当はクルス・ノノじゃない。そう言いたかった。でもそれが分かったら今の生活が失われるって。明るくて誰からも好かれるクルス・ノノじゃなく、陰気で気味の悪い南沢千里だって分かったらタクルに嫌われるって。
Doesn't Senri have twin tails? He's like, that makes her best girl automatically. Like, she even passes Arimura.
そう思うと怖くて 本当のこと言えなかった。騙そうだなんてそんなこと、それだけは信じてほしい。
I mean, she definitely tried to lie. Just, you want me to believe? Those words shook me even more. You want me to believe you? I mean, she did have lots of opportunities recently to tell the truth. Like a ton of them. I lost the ability to control myself. I lost the ability to control what I was saying. You're the one who betrayed me. You did the exact same thing with the truth about my mom and dad. You lied to me the whole time. Said you'd never do that again. That was really just another lie, wasn't it?
それは
You said that our family wouldn't keep any more secrets. You kept the most important secret you could. And now you want me to believe you? I can't believe you. Can't believe anything you say now. Bruce's eyes were overflowing with tears. I couldn't stop myself from speaking. So what now? You're gonna tell me a family's supposed to believe in each other? And we're not a family anymore. No, 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 no. Don't say that. Don't say that. Do not. That opens up the romance route. That we're not a family anymore, are we? Never pretend you're a part of my family again. I let it all out. When I was done, there's nothing left but emptiness. Even after that, I still couldn't forgive her. Her tears, her words, they all seemed like lies. And so,
ごめんなさい。
I watched as Kurusu turned and ran out of the room. But I didn't try to stop. I mean, that makes it kind of awkward, right? Like, Takuya has an RV to go back to, but like, where's she gonna go? I didn't try to stop her. Damn it! Oh, was that Takuya hitting or Kurosato? Smashing my fist into the table wasn't gonna no, Kurosato was like, whoa, this is juicy. What the heck is going on in there? Smashing my fist into the table wasn't gonna change anything. Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. Oh, hold on. Damn it. He gets one damn it, okay? I slam my, don't tell YouTube. Slam my fist into the table over and over again anyway. What the hell is this? Why the hell is all of this happening? Serika had betrayed me. Kurusu had lied to me. Everything I thought I had was turning against me. It was laughing at me as it fled away. I didn't know what to believe anymore. I didn't have anything left to believe in. Serika said she committed all those murders for me. Kurusu said she didn't want me to find out about her secret. Why? Is all of this just my fault then? I wished for a case that would shake the whole world. I wished for a family. That's why all of this happened, right? So, that's it. It's all my fault. My fault for being here. It's me who's making everyone around me miserable. The victims of the return of the new gen madness. Yui, Dad, Ito, Serika, Kurusu. It's all my fault. Maybe I should just go away. Maybe I should just go and disappear forever. Serika in the distance. Well, okay. Please. Anyone. I don't care who. Come kill me. Just come kill me. Please. You're listening, right, Onoe? That's my wish. So they heard someone open the door and run into the room! Was it Serika here to grant my wish? Alright, guys.
タクル兄ちゃん、今ナノさんが
Dot dot dot.
ノノ姉ちゃんと何かあったの？タクルさん。
The two of them were looking at me, concerned. I didn't have the energy to answer them. Kurusu didn't come back to the apartment that night. Where did she go? She hung out in his RV? November 22nd, 2015, Sunday. Is that one day or? I don't remember what day it was. I don't think you're allowed in there. What am I doing? The rain had started to fall, and the next thing I knew, I'd come here. All the stuff is still here? Change out of my wet clothes. Oh my god, they will do anything to give us more Alba Dorm content. Please stop. Change out of my wet clothes and into the old uniform I kept in the back of the dresser, and looked around the room once more. They closed the place down. They hadn't changed the locks or put up a chain on the door. The spare key was in its usual place. They should have just let us stay here a while longer. If they did, maybe this wouldn't have happened. Desperately tried to drive the thoughts through my mind once more. Anyway, thanks to the key, I made it inside easily. I knew what was wrong, but I'd come here anyway. I had too many memories here. I needed to come here to say goodbye to the past. All the furniture was still here too, much the same as when we lived here. Since there's no one to clean it, dust had built up on the shelves, tables, and floors. Softly ran my hand along the desk. A streak of brown appeared near a thin layer of white. Who would have thought it would get dusty, so dusty if no one was here for such a short time? The day we left, felt like we were never coming back, and I've been terribly sad.
Tadaima.
Oh, Kyrie? I whispered softly. Is that the word? Of course, no one answered. The place was empty. But still, this was where everything I had was kept. Everything I had as Kurusu no. I hated myself. The person named Minamisawa Senri. I'd always been alone ever since I was a kid. You see, twin tails, that makes her best girl. But black tail, ooh! See this, you think there's a version of her with white ribbons? And that like is, this goes deep. At recess time in daycare, everyone would go out to the playground and play on the swings and slide. I liked to stay indoors and read books. Nerd. No, I didn't actually like it. I just pretended I did, so I wouldn't have to interact with other people. Even at a young age, I already thought that any interactions with other people would just bring me pain and sorrow. That didn't change in elementary school. Instead of changing, my introverted personality only got worse. Now, after having lived as Kurusu no for years, I knew. If a person tries to stay in their shell, no one will ever try to get close to them. Why would they? They have lots of other, more fun things to do. They have lots of other, more fun friends to spend time with. That's why I was always alone. You know, I just realized. Does anyone in the Chaos series have, like, nice, loving parents? Like, Takeru didn't. Serika didn't. We don't know about Kurusu. Arimura, like, well, let's say no. Maybe once upon a time, but probably no. Kazuki, jury's out. I don't think we've heard about Ito's parents. Serika, what parents? Maybe the guy she killed at the apartment, does that count? Okay, so he was probably a nice guy. That was why I was always alone. That didn't mean I was bullied. For so long as I could remember, I'd always been worried about what other people thought of me. I was good at avoiding becoming a target. I tried my best not to stand out. I tried my best not to make anyone mad. That was my life. But I still hated myself. I hated the girl named Minamisawa Senri. One day, I talked to my mom about how I felt.
お母さん、私、もっとみんなと仲良くなれるようになりたい。友達がたくさんできる。そんな性格になりたい。
Like, waking out the hospital for you. Thinking back, that was my first mistake. That was when my own personal hell began. Mom took me to a lab. She told me if I went there, they'd fix my shy personality. There's a lab that's affiliated with a pharmaceutical firm that my dad worked for, had deep ties to the weird cult that my mom believed in. At first, it was simple psychological tests. All the doctors there were nice. When the test finished, they gave me candy. Let's go! I had to look forward to going there. I was a child. I was a fool. At first, Dad was opposed to me going there, but after a while, he almost never came home anymore. Mom said he was busy with work. And then the experiments began to get more serious. They had forced my eyes to stay open as they showed me all kinds of weird images. The Rorschachs? But they made me listen to this weird, creepy static for hours. Hot things, cold things, sour things, spicy things, nasty things, nasty things, nasty things, painful things, painful things. This chair. Again and again and again. We've seen this before, right? I know we've seen some of these. Maybe it was Uki's we saw. Number 79. Confidential. Born 1997. Blood type O. I don't know. I know in Japan, like, blood types are kind of like horoscopes. I don't know what O means. Or what any of them mean, really. Noryose was the attending doctor. Okay. So, side Ufu. Days ago? A few days ago! But that's not side then, that's sickle? That's a C. Dry cough, nose runny. I don't know what this word is then. A few days ago, Jay. Okay. Nothing important. Rank A. Put weird machines on my head. They gave me drugs. They gave me dozens of shots in my arm. My left arm turned purple, they'd use the right. The right arm turned purple, they'd use the left. Again. No matter how much I cried and screamed, no matter how much I said I didn't want to go, Mom told me it was my task in life to go there and be experimented on. What they were doing there was special. I was chosen, so I couldn't tell anyone else. That's what she said. Mom wouldn't listen no matter what I said. But Dad? Maybe Dad would. I longed to meet my father. So, did they like bribe him or did they like, you know, send us mom him? Then one day I saw him in the middle of an experiment. When I finally saw my father again, he was like a different person. Not the way he looked, the way he felt. Before he'd been so opposed to me going to that facility, but now he said the experiments were for my own good. I was a small child with nothing left to believe in. The drugs ruined my skin. My hair would fall out sometimes too. I lost the few friends I'd had. Then one day, scientists were all very happy with the results of the experiment. Dad was happy too. I didn't care. I just wanted to get away. Then the experiments got even worse. They gave me shots. My whole body hurt. I thought I might die. I fought back. They tied me to a chair. They put a weird device on my mouth. I couldn't even say it hurt anymore. And then, I thought I saw someone looking at me from the door. But there's no one to hear my voice. No one came to save me. So hold on. It was a plot point in the comment round that she definitively saw only one person there. She did not see Serica there. They can't just leave it vague like that. I fell into despair. Tetsubo? Despair at the past. Despair at the present. Despair at the future. There's no hope there. Only pain and suffering. I truly wish for death. This is sounding like the like a final trial in a Danganronpa game right now. And then it happened. Churusu came down like an angel. She spoke to me for the first time. The lighting is reversed how I thought it would be. Like she's in the shade and Serica's in the light. Oh, she didn't have the ribbon thing back then. She had she had an Angie thing. She was the single ray of light in my dark life. Nono-chan was always cheerful and smiling. She was nice to everyone. Wait, did we get a date for this? Sometimes it shows it. No. There's always a circle of people around here. I couldn't bring myself to try and join that circle. I just had to sit there and watch. But whenever I did, she would shout to me. I could see the people around her frown. Nono-chan must have known too. Some of them would just walk away when I went to join the group. Of course I could. Those words made me so happy. They kept me going. They saved me. Nono-chan was cute and popular with the boys. Kawahara-kun and the other boys would gather around her. They were all after Nono-chan. I knew they didn't like me. Sometimes they'd say that the only reason I existed was to make her look better. But I didn't care. I knew Nono-chan didn't think that way. One day, Nono-chan asked me a question.
センリちゃんはいつも早く帰って何してるの？
I had no idea what to say. At that time, they were doing experiments on weekdays too. I was going to a weird place where they did creepy experiments. Mama told me not to tell anyone, but if I told her, she might think I was weird. But maybe I could tell her.
うちってね、お母さんしかいないの。だから休みの日はいつもお手伝いばっかりなんだ。
I was surprised. Nono-chan had always seemed so happy. I didn't know she had any problems at all.
もしかしてセンリちゃんも同じ？
Maybe Nono-chan felt bad for me. When I thought about that, I couldn't tell her the truth. It made me feel a little better to think I wasn't the only one suffering. And then I started to hate myself. Nono-chan was honestly worried about me. So how could I feel that way? But still, I was jealous of Nono-chan. She was cheerful, pretty, smart, and everyone liked her. I looked up to her more and more with each passing day. I started to wish that I could become Nono. That was never going to happen. The more I started to feel that way, the worse the experiments got. I never told anyone, but somehow, word started to go around that I was going to some weird lab. Wait, if she never told anyone, how did they find out? That's gotta be, like, a plot point, right? Like, one of her classmates is like, I don't know, related to someone there or something, which could only be Kuryusu or Kawahara. Oh, Kazuki was there too in the background. That came the day of November 6th, 2009. I was undergoing another painful experiment that day. On my way back, I became very dizzy and collapsed. That was a side effect of the drugs they'd just given me, but it wasn't. Everyone on the streets of Shibuya had fallen over and was crawling on the ground like me. The buildings collapsed. The trees on the side of the road fell over. Cars and trucks lost control and collided. The whole city turned into hell in an instant. I didn't know what had happened. The experiments had caused my legs to shrivel up. I couldn't walk right. Someone in the fleeing crowd pushed me over and I had to drag my wounded body home. Mom was dead. It happened so fast. She had the same self-satisfied smile on my face that she always had. This is for your sake. This is a sign of your faith. Those were the words she'd always said when she made me suffer. Now she was gone from the world, without suffering at all. I had a feeling I'd never felt before. It wasn't sorrow or loss. A while later, someone came from the facility to tell me that Dad had died as well. Okay, look, I'm just saying, Kazuki better just have like a nice parent, right? Just one. At least one. Because, I mean, I guess Senna's mom was, before she ate the baby, was maybe nice? I don't remember. Trying to think of Chaos Head characters. One of them had a nice parent, right? Wait, were Takumi's parents nice? Actually, they might have been. I can't remember them being mean, at least. Someone came from the facility to tell me that Dad had died as well. But unlucky enough to be in the Shibuya for a meeting during the earthquake. I still didn't feel sad. At the same time, the people from the facility told me to evacuate to the hospital. They've been showing me these strange pictures that they'd seen some kind of symptoms develop. They didn't want to lose a valuable guinea pig, even with all that going on. I could tell what they were thinking. Mom was dead. Dad was dead. Did I still have to undergo more experiments? Did I still have to suffer? There's nothing left to tie me down anymore. I smacked away the big hand that reached out for me and ran. I kept running, not even knowing where I was going. I still don't know how I ran on those weak legs. Somehow I found the strength. I didn't want to go back to that lab. Ever. That was enough to keep me going. After I turned down many corners and scrambled over a bunch of rubble, I found her. Even buried in the rubble, she was beautiful.
あげるからね。
I couldn't just let her die. Nono-chan was my best friend. And more than anything, she was the person I wished I could be. If she died here, I'd have nothing left to live for. I desperately tried to move the rubble off her and save her. But I was too weak. That's right, there's nothing I could do. I didn't want to abandon her. There's just nothing I could do.
痛い。痛いよ。センリちゃん。
As more time passed, blood started to trickle out through the rubble. Her voice began to get smaller.
お母さん。お母さんは
I looked around and saw a grown-up's feet poking out from under the rubble behind her. They seemed like a woman's feet.
お母さんなら無事よ。よかった。だからののちゃんもセンリちゃん。
Senri's very good at lying. She learned at a young age. Nono-chan grabbed my arm. Her hand was surprisingly cold.
いやだよ。私死にたくない。死にたくないよ。
So, remember how Gigalomaniac's powers like awaken like right here, like with their biggest wish? Like Senri could have wished, hey, I want to save Nono. But instead she got, I'm gonna steal Nono's life. But because I think the power hasn't awakened yet, right? Because it didn't awaken right when the light showed up. It awakened, you know, a little bit later. At least with Takeru. And I think Arimura? I forget about Arimura.
ごめんね。お母さん。
So she could have wished for like healing powers or like rubble moving powers right here, but she didn't.
私
Tears poured down her face as she slowly closed her eyes.
ののちゃん。
The strength left her hand.
ののちゃん。あ、ののちゃん。ののちゃん。
No matter how much I cried, no matter how hard I hit her cheek, she wouldn't move anymore. I cried. Nono-chan's death meant the death of the person I looked up to. Meant the death of my hope. May as well have been meant my own death.
じゃあ私ののちゃんになりたかった。
Even in death, she was pretty. But what about me? My hair was a mess. My face was covered with soot. Must have cut my face somewhere too.
どうせ死ぬなら私が死ねばよかったんだ。ののちゃんの代わりに私が死んでしまえばよかったんだ。
And then I saw something strange. It's like the wings of a huge bird soaring through the skies. Is that what it's supposed to be? A wing? Or the hands of a holy mother coupled in prayer. Yeah, see, it always looked like a claw to me. So, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kind of 5. Well, but there's more. Organic yet inorganic. I was so entranced by it that I didn't even realize that someone had come up to me. Did you see a little girl around here? She's about your age. Looks kind of gloomy. It was one of the men who'd come to take me to the lab. That's really convenient timing. But I didn't say anything. He sighed and walked off. It didn't make sense. Weren't they looking for me? Anyway, seeing a little girl, they saw the dead body. Yeah, oh well, not our problem. I gasped in surprise at something I saw in the corner of my eye. A piece of glass embedded in the wall of a collapsed building. I could see Nono-chan reflected in the pieces. Nono-chan was right at my feet. Nono-chan in the glass was looking at me in surprise. I took a step closer. So did the girl in the glass. I tilted my head, and so did Nono-chan.
嘘。
I turned into Nono-chan. I looked around for something else that would show my reflection. I picked Nono-chan's phone off the ground and then used it to take a picture of myself. I was Nono-chan. I couldn't believe it, but that was reality.
私がののちゃん
What had happened? Did it have something to do with the headache? Or that weird sword I'd seen? Maybe it was because of those awful experiments, but it didn't matter.
このままののちゃんになれば
If I could just become Nono-chan, I wouldn't have to do any more experiments ever again. I'd be free of the chains of pain, sorrow, and loneliness that bound Minamisawa Senri. I could spread my wings as Kurusu Nono, fly off into a beautiful, blue sky. Flames were already spreading from the collapsed building.
ののちゃんごめんねごめん
Isn't Blue Sky or something like that the name of the true ending in Chaos Head? Totally intentional. I apologized again and again as I dragged Nono-chan's body out of the rubble and put it in the fire. Jeez. The smell of burning hair and flesh stung my nostrils. Actually, no, she's just fine. She just passed out. She was still... God! It was only then that I realized what I was doing. I quickly tried to grab her body and pull her out, but it was too late. Soon her body was turned to black ash, and I passed out. When I woke up at the hospital, a new life as Kurusu Nono. All my classmates, including Kawahara-kun, came to visit me. They were nicer to me than they'd ever been to Minamisawa Senri. Fortunately, nobody questioned if I really was Kurusu Nono. Nono-chan had been buried as Minamisawa Senri, based on what I told the police. Even in the unprecedented disaster, I still thought they might get more suspicious. I was astonished at how easy it was. For a while afterwards, I felt guilty at how worried everyone was about me. I was terrified they'd find out. My personality, in particular, wasn't something I could quickly change. Sure, a lot of things I said struck people as wrong, but time was on my side. Everyone simply decided I was traumatized by the loss of my mother and friend. They were actually even nicer to me. But at some point, I got used to pretending to be Kurusu Nono. I mastered the role, stopped feeling guilty. Soon I really was Kurusu Nono. That was about the first time I saw the boy in a coma named Miyashio Takuyo. After that, I was taken in by Alba Dorm. Then Yui and Yuto came. Takuyo came too, still in his coma. I took care of him every day. I nursed him back to health. We fought. Not long after, we opened up to one another. And we became a family. Takuyo left the dorm. I would have liked to see that scene actually. Where just like, you know, when they first meet. Like, what did they fight about? What stupid technicality would Takuyo be mad about? Like, no, it's not a barrel roll, it's an aileron roll. Get it right, you nerd. Isn't that in the tips actually? I swear it was. Huh. We became a family again. We stopped being a family. And in the end, I stopped being Kurusu Nono. I was back to being Minamisawa Senri, the girl who lied to her family for years. But
じゃあ私はどうすればよかったの
I mean, you could have wished for like a power to kill the whole committee in one swing of a sword. That would have been a cool power. Was they supposed to go back to that lab as Minamisawa Senri? Be experimented on as a Gigalomaniac? Spend my entire life suffering in that dark, damp building? Without anyone ever loving me? And die as a guinea pig, with no happy memories, no warmth at all. Was that what I was supposed to do?
だったら私は何のために生まれてきたの
I wanted to live. I wanted to be happy. That was all.
私だって分かってたよ
I mean, like, you can't really blame her that much for, you know, doing it as a kid, right? But at some point, either during the common route or, you know, during, you know, ever since she fought with Serica, she probably should have mentioned that, hey, oh yeah, by the way, I'm Senri. That was a very important detail. They're out there thinking Senri was the killer, you know. Would have been really nice to know Senri was right here all along. I knew that it was all a lie. All the smiles, all the kindness, all the friendship. They were all for Nono-chan. They weren't for me. They weren't for Minamisawa Senri. Takuyo's voice echoed in my mind. all a lie, wasn't it? Yeah, we said that this episode. Can't believe you. I can't believe anything you say now. If he knew the real me, if he knew Minami-sama Senri, would he accept me?
ねえタクル、私はどうすればいいの？これからどうすればいいのかな？
What could I do now? What was important to me?
私は
Okay. I know we're near the end, but I think there's enough left for another episode. So I will cut it there. Or like, there's got to be like a Serica fight or something. Like, how are they? So obviously, she's gonna start living as Senri, right? It's not gonna be she lives as Kurusu forever. But I wonder how they're gonna like broach that with like, you know, everyone. Like, oh hey, by the way, Kurusu's gone. I'm Senri now. Huh? Just Kawahara is like, what the heck? You were dead. Anyway, I guess we'll see. Bye.